on the international treaty. That's a very strong point. Very strong point. Someone was enjoying me. When you are ready, you are ready. Wearing Gideon's color. Yes. Oh, we can start. Okay. Yes, I think he'll join us. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the press. We have a press statement here by the United Opposition on the escalating human rights violations and political intolerance in Kenya and the region. We, the United Opposition, stand before the people of Kenya and the international community, gravely alarmed by the heightened descent of our beloved nation into a state of repression, lawlessness, and political persecution. Despite our persistent calls to end arbitrary arrests, abductions, gross violation of human rights, and extrajudicial killings, the Ruto administration seems to be on a race to the bottom, that is to anarchy. In recent days, the country has been plunged into a disturbing pattern of political repression and targeted violence. Most shocking was the brazen abduction of the Honorable Member of Parliament for Juja constituency, the Honorable George Koimburi, whom we have visited this morning, and who was forcefully taken by unidentified assailants on a Sunday. He had gone to church, only to be later found tortured and dumped in a coffee plantation somewhere in Kiambu, literally fighting for his life. The horrifying incident is not isolated. It's part of a chilling trend where elected leaders and citizens, particularly Gen Zs, aligned with the opposition, are being systematically targeted to silence any dissent against this regime. In Kakamega, what was meant to be a peaceful homecoming for our colleague Honorable Cleophas Malala and the supporters of the DCP party was quickly turned into a war zone as police deployed excessive force, including live ammunition, to disperse opposition supporters. A few days before, the same cruel pattern faced innocent, peaceful citizens in Bungoma protesting against the grabbing of the Nzoia Sugar Company. This use of disproportionate force on unarmed civilians is not only unlawful, but represents a dangerous erosion of the right to assemble as enshrined in Article 37 of the Constitution of Kenya. Moreover, we have repeatedly raised the alarm over the state-enabled culture of impunity, where political hooligans are mobilized to disrupt opposition events violently. These criminal gangs operate openly, often shielded or even escorted by state security forces. From Busia to Kisumu, Nairobi to Nyeri, opposition meetings have been ambushed, tents destroyed, sound systems and cars vandalized, and citizens assaulted. While the police stand by, or worse, collaborate in this chaos, this is no doubt a state-sponsored political terrorism. We also condemn in the strongest terms Father John Maina, who had just recently hosted the second deputy president. We also condemn the death and murder of Father Alois Cherua Bet, who had also been paid a visit by DCI officers, only to be murdered shortly thereafter. We are in solidarity with the Catholic Church in demand for justice and holding to account those responsible for these heinous crimes. These violations are not only gross violation of the Kenyan Constitution, but also a violation of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and other international rights statutes, including the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948, to which Kenya is a signatory, the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, ratified by Kenya as far back as 1972, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which enshrines the right to liberty, assembly, and freedom of expression. These legally binding instruments obligate the state to protect, not to persecute any of its citizens without exception. We are deeply disturbed by the growing role of private sector enablers in this crackdown. We call out telecommunication companies, in particular Safaricom, which may have turned a blind eye, or worse, actively collaborated with the regime in surveilling, tracing, aiding, and abducting of these citizens. We demand that they publicly account for the data they provide to security agencies and affirm their commitment to protecting the rights and privacy of their customers. We equally put on notice all political and business elites, those who fund the goon squads, those who lobby for the maintenance of tyranny, and those in the diplomatic community who remain silent as Kenya burns. History will remember your complicity. To the Kenyan people, we say, do not be silenced. The repression we face today is not just about politics. It's about the very soul of our nation. When voices are muted through fear, when leaders are abducted in broad daylight, and when bullets are fired at peaceful gatherings, the silence of one becomes the silence of all. We urge every citizen, civil society groups, religious leaders, and international allies to stand in solidarity with us in demanding, one, an immediate cessation of politically motivated violence and abductions, enforced disappearances, and extrajudicial killings. Two, accountability for the telecoms and private actors enabling illegal surveillance, tracking, and data breaches. Three, an end to state-backed disruption of peaceful political assemblies. Four, the protection of constitutional rights, including the freedom of assembly, association, expression, and political participation. We would like to remind Mr. Ruto that he is not immune from prosecution for crimes against humanity, which includes abductions, torture, enforced disappearances, murders, gender-based violence, and other crimes. This is not a partisan issue. It's a matter of a national concern and international concern as well. In fact, we want to declare it a national emergency. We will not relent until justice and the rule of law is restored and every Kenyan can live and speak without fear in this country. That's the end of our statement. Thank you very much.
Any questions? I think it's very clear. It's a very clear statement. In fact, if we just carry it as it is, none of us here, because it's what we have discussed this morning, and those of us who have mothers just been here, Rigi G sent his apology. In fact, he was also here last night, and all the other friends are in solidarity with this statement. So I really think we shouldn't add anything unless it's something, a question. Oh, great. Tumemwona, sauti imeanza kurudi pole pole. And his wife is beside him, and we thank Karen Hospital for taking excellent care of him. You know, when you hear stories like Mheshimiwa abducted himself, you really want to pray for those people because they are evil. You see the tattered clothes and things, he's lucky to be alive. And so we have one instrument, Constitution of Kenya 2010. And all public officers, from William Ruto to the police constables, must know that be held accountable under the Constitution. Those rights are so clearly elaborated. And so we want to say shame on anybody who thinks a Mheshimiwa like this can abduct himself. And you want us police to believe your story? So I don't want to add.
Would you speak to the National Police Service saying they are unaware of the abduction and they are investigating the video circulating online?
And to add on that,
they are investigating themselves.
he's even called for a presser.
Who?
2 p.m.
Who?
Kanja, the IG.
Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. If he repeats it, it's unfortunate. Yeah, there's an abduction squad. We go by what Rigathi Gachagua said last night. Special squad, you know, designed to make sure that there will be no opposition in Kenya. So let him issue a statement. But who will believe a policeman like Kanja today, where his own people say, oh, Mheshimiwa abducted himself. And the man was almost dead. Okay, so, well, this is where it is. And we are not, by the way, Kenyans are very clear. Nothing will stop them from sending these people home. Are they not even on record saying, afadhali wajitete because they know they'll go to prison? Well, the former Attorney General is here with us, immediate former. It's really, JB is with us. And these things, we're investigating, we tooth comb with ICJ. Remember, you're dealing with very senior, some of us, very senior members of the profession and members of the International Law Society of Kenya, East African Law Society. And we repeat that when we went for integration of the region, we really were for the rights of establishment. So Martha Karua can practice in Uganda. I can open an office in Dar es Salaam, in Kigali, in Bujumbura. This is the spirit of cooperation. And therefore we are all subject to the same values and standards. So we are going to make sure that this region is called to order when it comes to human rights, which are universal under those statutes that have been elaborated.
How do you speak to comments made by the Tanzanian MPs yesterday about...
We don't want to comment about Tanzanian MPs.
I think let's stick to the Kenyan situation about abductions. Our own president, just a few days ago, told the Finnish president there will be no more abductions. We have come here because of the latest abductee, an honorable member of parliament. And we have here the former Attorney General whose own son was abducted. Probably should say a word about abductions that he has called for an end to. JB, please.
Thank you, my colleagues. I've always called for an end to abductions, and we thought when President Ruto, in answer to a question from a foreign journalist saying that they have all come to an end, and all those that have been abducted and safely been returned to their homes and reunited with their families. Only, unfortunately, to see this latest one of Honorable Koimburi. And just to answer a simple question, on Friday last week, the police who are looking for Honorable Koimburi did not get him. He managed to escape. The police continued to look for him. They arrested his driver. His vehicle is still at Bodaiga police station. That was Friday. And then on Sunday, he said Troke has to know the people that were hunting for Koimburi on Friday are the same ones who are looking for him on Sunday. It's a simple thing. So, IG Kaja, please, you can tell that story to the birds, not to Kenyans. It doesn't make sense. Abductions and all forms of extrajudicial processes must come to an end in this country. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Former Speaker of the National Assembly, what is the silence? We are not getting anything from Parliament, the current Speaker.
Current Parliament.
I'm told they are resuming National Assembly. So let me not say beyond that, but Kenyans are watching very carefully what Parliament is doing.
And just to ask you a question, when the Attorney General has spoken, are you still keen on listening to Kanja? It's a waste of time. I just wanted, we want to hear what they're going to say.
They are resuming today. So
let's hear what they're going to say.
Naturally, we will expect that the National Assembly sitting this afternoon
will move a motion of adjournment.
Yes, move a motion of adjournment to discuss, because it's a serious case of insecurity. It's just the other day that another member was shot and killed. Now again, yesterday or Sunday, another one is kidnapped, abducted, left for the dead. Surely, we expect no less than the House adjourning to discuss the matter of rising insecurity.
Some of them, by the way, here, the Honorable Mule, and who else is there? And Mawade is here. Understanding order number 20, move a motion of adjournment to discuss an urgent matter of national importance. So we expect that. And I think all members now, we give instructions to do so. And let us see how many others, remainder of what was state captured, hear what they're going to say. They're going to defend this gangsterism by the state. Asanteni.
Thank you.